It's almost too hot to make a fire video today, but fire making's a year-round sport, so let's just get to it. Look at all this teasel. After it flowers and spreads its seeds, the plant starts dying back, and eventually the stalk will turn almost white. That's when it's ready to harvest. Let's take a piece or two home with us and play with it this afternoon. After I cut those teasel plants and brought them home with me, I remembered that I've got to leave them to dry for a few days. So for the rest of this video, I'm going to be using teasel that I cut last fall. Well, this project was inspired by a comment left by a viewer for a video I posted a few months ago. He mentioned something about making and using a replaceable bit bow drill spindle. Well, I found that rather intriguing and thought about it for a while and decided I needed to make one for myself. Here's what I came up with. This is honeysuckle. It's not quite 4 inches long. It's maybe 5/8 of an inch in diameter. I carved a light taper on one end, and on the other end I drilled a 5/16 inch diameter hole, maybe an inch deep. And I also whipped this end with some artificial sinew to keep it from splitting over time. Well, if you've watched many of my videos, you know that I like to use wildflower stalks as spindles. Well, eventually they're going to wear out and wear down to little nubs like this. This is a piece of goldenrod. It's a little under 2 inches long at this point and very, very difficult to use. But with my replaceable bit spindle, I can give it a little bit more life, and I can probably get 2 or 3 more embers out of that. Well, more interestingly than that, I thought maybe for the first time I might be able to use teasel as a bow drill spindle. Teasel's great for fire by friction, but I've had a fit of a time using it as a bow drill spindle. 2 things you need to know about teasel. One, it's covered in thorns. So when you go harvest it, make sure you take yourself some leather gloves. Your hands will appreciate it. The second thing is, once it's dry, if you take the back of your knife, for example, and scrape off all those little thorns, what's left is a really slippery, slick, smooth stalk, something like that. So again, teasel's great for fire by friction, but I've had a fit of a time with it as a bow drill spindle. But more often than not, I've found that my bow cord will start slipping as I apply increasing pressure to the top of the spindle with my thunderhead. And if I tighten up my bow cord to the point where it doesn't slip, oftentimes the teasel will just crush. So what I decided was maybe it would work as a replaceable bit. So here's a piece of teasel that I cut. It's about 4 inches long. It's a little bit too big on this upper end. I'm going to have to do a little bit of fitting before we go outside and play with it. And you can also see that I've scraped off the outer fibrous layer on the bottom piece. All of your wildflower stalks need to be scraped really well and get off the outer fibrous layer. Otherwise, it'll just kind of sweep away your dust and ruin your ember. But this is what I'm going to try. I'm going to see if I can, for the first time ever, make embers with teasel. I'm going to probably burn this in and notch a fireboard. I'll do that off camera before I go outside. And then we're going to go see if, for the first time ever, I can make teasel work with a bow drill set. Wish me luck. All right, here goes. This is my replaceable bit honeysuckle bow drill spindle with a teasel bit. I've got a eastern red cedar fireboard, my favorite honeysuckle 16-inch bow, and a stone thunderhead. Sure hope this works. That's a big ember. This is some smoky stuff. There it goes. That was some old inner bark from a cottonwood limb that I dragged home probably 2 years ago. That was really smoky, but it did work. That's the first time I've ever been able to use Teasel in a bow drill set. Well, it worked quite good. May have opened up a whole new world of opportunities for bow drilling. Hope you'll give it a try. That's all for this one, folks. Thanks for watching. See you again next time.